Test cricket is back and blessed with the most perfect day here at Lord's in the heart of London, where summer begins with the visit of the gifted and often extravagant Sri Lankans.
Ganappa, have you got the coin? Yep. You've given it to Nasser. It's a 50p piece. If you'd like to toss it now, Nasser. Sanath has called ahead, and it has come down ahead. Sanath, you've won the toss. What are you going to do?
I decided to bet first.
You've actually had a great record recently. You scored over 500 7 times batting first in 9 test matches. Confident of doing it again on this surface?
Yeah, it's different conditions, and I think we had to be a bit positive. And we thought we should bat first.
And looking at that Sri Lankan side, you see fantastic strength at the top of the order. Russell Arnold as low as number 7 on the list. Aravinda de Silva there at 5. He's back in the side. And at the top, of course, the breathtaking captain, Sanath Jayawardene. They do not play a specialist spinner. Interesting. 3 left-arm quicks. Zoysa is tall and strong. Chaminda Vas has real quality. And they have little Chandika Boudica Fernando. Keep an eye on him. A nippy little medium pacer. England, no spinner. We've heard that from Nasser Hussain. Ashley Giles went home yesterday. The strong seam attack, Alex Tudor, is left out. Dominic Cork is back at his favourite venue, and boy, does he love playing at Lord's. Immense strength in the batting, with John Crawley at 6, and then the Stuart Flintoff-Cork combo to really tidy things up down the bottom.
Here's the first ball then. Andrew Caddick to Atapatu. You can't bowl there to Jayawardene, because that's what will happen. It's a gift for him, and he's hammered it away through square cover for 4, the opening boundary of the morning. Edged, but down to third man and 4. That's perhaps a gap that Hussain will look to close when Jayawardene is on strike. But it is one of Jayawarene's stronger areas, that area between cover and gully or backward point. There he goes again through square cover for 4. Much more conventional, orthodox stroke. It's his 3rd boundary. Well, it's worked okay through extra cover. But Atapatu took his bottom hand off the back fielding from Butcher and Vaughan to pick up and throw. There has been a number of occasions now where Hussain has taken time out to adjust the field. It's going to be 4 leg byes off a no ball. More runs here, just pushed back square, and it'll be 2 more. Jayawardene is coming back, could be struggling here. I tell you what, I think that's out. I think that's a huge error of judgment from the Sri Lankan captain. There's a nod to his partner. He thinks he might have got there.
That was a nonsensical run. He may be nodding and saying he's in. Well, we'll soon see. Stewart gathers the ball. What a throw. Where is he? Where is he? He's gone. He's on his way. He's 2 foot out. Well, what a silly run that is.
It's a huge error of judgment by Jayawardene. There was no need for that at all. Sri Lanka going along quite comfortably. And the captain has run himself out in inexplicable circumstances. Great throw from Vaughan right over the top. Stewart, all he had to do was take the bails off. But Jayawardene has gone run out for 18. It's 38 for 1.
That's away through mid-off for 4. Butcher's just jogging after that. He's got no chance of catching up with the ball. Don't often see that many seam bowlers in the Sri Lankan lineup, Ranjit, do you?
Yes, the Sri Lankans have opted, in fact, to go into this match with their 4 seamers. As one sees Ruchira Pereira, Charita Boudica Fernando, Nuwan Soiza, Chaminda Vas, heavily weighted towards left arm seam.
There's no third man. That'll be another boundary. Scoreboard is racing around here at Lord's. A run rate is better than a run a minute. That's away behind point for 4. This outfield is remarkably quick for the middle of May. The 50's up for Sri Lanka and we're only in the 12th over.
Matthew Hoggard about to bowl his 7th over of the morning, none for 35 to speak so far. He's got one now. That's straight into the hands of Andrew Flintoff. That's just what England needed. They had a poorish start to the game. The run out of the Sri Lankan captain had given them an early glimmer, but they were desperate for this second wicket. First ball after the drinks. There it is.
How many times do you see this? Concentration of the batsman. Maybe just wandered. The drinks break. It's wide. He's gone after it. Sangakkara, and he's paid the price. Good catch. Never easy at Lord's. The different colours the fielders have to look through. But Sangakkara's gone for 10. It's 55 for 10.
Sangakkara will be disappointed with himself. That's a good delivery. Good shape to that delivery from Matthew Hoggard. Well, they're big hands. Flintoff on the left, Cork on the right. About 2 inches difference.
Both having another look at that catch. That's the point I was making. If you look at the eye line of Andrew Flintoff there, he's actually looking into the crowd. Another look. People don't realise this, but with the slope of the ground here now, Andrew Flintoff's looking for that ball, and he's having to pick it out of the crowd. Different coloured shirts, white background. Today it's probably at its best with the bright sunshine, but that really can be a problem at Lord's, especially if you're colourblind.
Which, of course, you were. Or are. That's tucked away fine.
I know he's got a magnificent record, Dominic Cork, here at Lord's, which I'm sure would have been a major factor in him being brought back for this game. It's impressive, isn't it? Average of 23 here, 33 wickets, just 8 matches.
Yes, I mean, this argument about the selection for this game, Nasser Hussain has been forthright in defending his team, as you'd expect, and there's no other choice for him. He's the captain, he has to lead them. He was saying this morning, it's horses for courses. That's why Dominic Cork is here, partly because of his record, partly because the theory is that pitch won't be too quick here, that with the grandstand in, as it has been the last 2 or 3 years now, there's been a feeling here at Lord's that the atmosphere has changed and that it does help the ball to swing maybe more than it used to. It's a theory.
Yes.
Which I'd love you to explain to me.
No, they do actually say, the bowlers have said that they've seen it do more in the air here since the new media stand has been put in, which is virtually then closing the whole ground in. As the media stand we're accommodating, very comfortable it is. That's the area, that's the written media. And we have the radio and television people above that. State-of-the-art facilities. Apart from the aircon, which is non-existent.
Over. 15 overs bowled, 59 for 2. It's found a way through. No one at third man. That's going to run down there for 4. Jayawardene off the mark. Well, talking of England at Lords, this is the record for the last 10 matches, during which they won 4, drawn 2, lost 4, so very even, going back to July 2001. Well, Australia seemed to love it here. Then England beat Pakistan, beat West Indies, that was a great game. Beat Zimbabwe, that was that May 2000 game. Wide open spaces. A delivery over-pitched and slightly offline, as Matthew Hoggard well knows, and there's the result. 4 more runs.
Again, trying to get it up there, give it a chance to swing. Always when it doesn't, to top-class players. Jayawardene is one of those, believe me. When it just drifts into that leg side, it is easy pickings. Frustrating for the bowler because he thinks he's doing the right thing. He's given the ball every chance. Sometimes the ball doesn't oblige.
It's nicely timed. John Crawley giving chase. Tantalising stuff. The ball wins.
Great piece of timing. It's Patu, just literally a defensive shot this. He thinks about the drive, then stops. But it's right out of the meat of the bat. Quick outfield here. Races away. That is just a little push. They're all different in their own ways, these England seamers. I mean, Caddick and Flintoff are much taller and look to bang the ball in. Hoggard's almost 82 miles an hour average speed. Andrew Flintoff already into the mid-80s, just after 1 over. And Caddick just around the 80 mark.
Beautifully placed. No doubt about this one. That's 4 more. Marvin Atapatu looking nicely organised this morning. Now, he certainly has settled in nicely.
Well, he's timing the ball magnificently. Another fine example. Great tip here for kids watching the game. Just look at there's no a case of trying to smash the ball. It's a case of just getting everything right. Getting the bat there, using the pace of the ball and placing it.
Yeah, Marvin Atapatu had what you might call a sticky start to his Test match career. Made 1 run in 6 innings in his first 3 Test matches. There against India, Australia and India again. Things looking very sweet for him this morning. Yet again, it's the same theory. Just get yourself into position, get yourself balanced, don't try and hit the ball too hard, and you'll find the runs will come.
Minimum movement. Keep it simple, but very effective.
Just saying, his sticky start. It took him around about 10 Test matches to get his first 100. 2 games later, he's on to 200. And if you learn a lesson as a player from that sort of career, that's a career start, it's to make the most of your opportunities. 80 for 2 it is now. That's 4. Just a bit too short and wide.
It was in the air for a while as well. Interested Marcus Trescothick in the gully. How close was he to it? Oh, now I wonder if Marcus Trescothick had stayed down, he might well have got to that, or got a hand to it at least. On the move there in the gully.
Just under half an hour to go until lunch on this first day. Dominic Cork at the nursery end, and in the commentary box now it's Paul Allott and Ranjit Fernando.
Thank you, David. More drift than anything else for Dominic Cork into his 6th over. Just going early, too early for his liking. It's not a swinging day, really. A glorious, bright day, no cloud, very little breeze. Oh, good shot. Chopped away, backward of point before. What a good shot that is from Atapatu. He's been in good form this morning.
Just a hint of width, and making complete use of that, coming down very hard on it. Exceptionally played. The placement too, very precise.
So Atapatu on to 38. He opened the innings with captain Jayawardene, who gave his wicket away, run out in inexplicable circumstances, going for a 3rd run when there was no 3rd run there.
Atapatu has made batting look quite easy this morning. There hasn't been very much for the quicker bowlers once the ball has lost its shine. But Atapatu, he's a confidence player. He's the type of player who, once he settles in, sort of starts growing in his innings.
Yes, it's a watchful performance this from Atapatu, but he's got 5 boundaries. The last 7 scoring strokes for Sri Lanka have all been boundaries. Well, that was just a touch risky. Dominic Cork will enjoy watching that, because anybody that just flicks and pushes hard at Cork is asking for trouble.
Yes, I think a degree of complacency seemed to have set in on that occasion. One needs to try and play every ball on its merits, particularly when it's doing a little bit. But someone like Cork.
Bouncer from Cork. He's a busy bowler, always at the batsman, always trying to make something happen. Certainly not the quickest bowler on view, but will bowl a pretty useful bouncer. Good stop. Triscothic in the gully. A little bit of extra bounce from Flintoff. He's been the one who's got perhaps most life out of this pitch, and he's only in his 3rd over.
The English bowlers have been looking to test the Sri Lankans with whatever they could, particularly in this first session of play, throwing in the short ball occasionally. And that's really the area where Jayawardene at times can get vulnerable, flashing at the shortish deliveries.
Dominic Cork is out of the attack. It's a good move, this. 20 minutes or so to go till lunch. Andrew Caddick coming back on for his 2nd spell. Hussain has to use his senior bowler as much as he possibly can early on. Caddick with 200 wickets under his belt. 3 slips a gully, 3 saving, 1 on the offside. Nearly through extra cover. It's a good half stop.
Looking to penetrate the field on the offside. Marwan Atapatu, that's really where his strength is, the drive. It's perfect time of the ball, his trademark shot. Just leaning into it. And the balance perfect, but very well stopped.
Flicked off stump. Caddick searching for that Yorker. Just 76 miles an hour, so still a loosener from Caddick.
The Sri Lankans haven't wasted too many opportunities. The captain's been maneuvering things around and changing the bowlers ever so often, but a very good delivery, as one would see, Yorker length. And Jayawardene did well, in fact, to get back to ball.
Oh, what a glorious stroke that is. Wide of mid-off in that gap between mid-off and extra cover. And that's Jayawardene's 4th boundary.
That really was as good as any. Once again, an over-pitch delivery, and Jayawardene, that's really the area where he thrives.
Well, if anybody wants to know how to play an off drive, they've only got to look at this. Beautiful position, beautiful balance, not trying to hit the ball too hard, and in the gap. Likes that stroke as well, got on top of it well, roll the wrists over it. Here's a single, that's well run.
That's what the Sri Lankans should be looking to do more of, because runs like that certainly is going to make the captain think a little bit more, make a few changes. That's very well run, dropping his hands, and it's not far away from the man in front, but all the same was able to get across.
A little bit of extra pace from Flintoff. Jayawardene missing out there. Another well-pinched single by Atapatu and Jayawardene. It's 97 for 2. It's too close to leg stump, and that's whipped away through square leg. It's going up the slope, and we'll go for 4. And the 100 comes up for Sri Lanka in the 25th over.
Once again, the timing very, very good. Waited on it, and the placement too excellent. Just a turn of the wrist. Such a risky player, Mahela Jayawardene. Uses the pace of the ball, and the ball races down that square leg boundary.
Hit on length as much as anything. It was a straightish ball, but very full. And Jayawardene whipping that through the leg side with that bottom hand. It's a better line from Caddick. That's where he's got to plug away. Flicked away again through the leg side, this time by Atapatu. And that's 4 as well. That's run away down to the tavern side of the ground. The 50 partnership comes up off just 74 balls. And Marvin Atapatu goes to 44.
Very little margin for error once again. Just slightly down the onside, and Atapatu getting inside the line, working it into the gap. It's nothing about power here, just placement and timing. The Sri Lankans have done it most efficiently.
Have a look at the 2 wickets that have fallen this morning. The first one, that of the captain. It was just a push by Atapatu down to a vacant 3rd man area. Look at Jayasuriya. He's miles short.
One really needs to go very short to try and get the ball to that sort of carry, and that was Sangakkara just sparring at the delivery. Certainly hasn't been amongst the runs this summer.
Good catch by Andrew Flintoff. Went quickly to his left at head height. Not easy to take. Over the Yorker again. It's a low full toss. Jayawardene will not get 4 for this. will settle for 3.
So with the concentration on these fuller length deliveries, there's always the danger of the ball going full and going for runs. And I think the English bowlers have paid the penalty in this direction.
Watches the final ball of the morning session pass harmlessly by. Jayawardene is 28, Atapadu 46. And Sri Lanka at lunch 110 for 2 as thoughtful Nasser Hussain leads his men from the field. Two men out. Jayasuriya run out for 18, Sangakkara for 10. Marvin Atapadu is not out 46, and Mahela Jayawardene is 26 not out. Sri Lanka 110 for 2 from 27 overs.
That's a mixed bag. One sees a mixture of good and bad deliveries. The Sri Lankans have made use of the bad ones. Forgot the only success amongst the bowlers, a wicket for 47. And yeah, there's containment has been the order, but bad balls have been put away for runs.
Umpires are on their way out to the middle here at Lord's for the second session of this first end-power test between England and Sri Lanka. And what a startling morning's cricket we had here. 27 overs were bowled and Sri Lanka amassed an almost unbelievable 110 runs at a rate of over 4 runs an over. Atapadu will resume on 46 and Jayawardene on 26. This partnership is already worth 55. It's been hard work for the England bowlers. Matthew Hoggard, the only wicket taker. Sanat Jayasuriya was run out. This was the piece of fielding from Michael Vaughan, which caused Sanat Jayasuriya to return to the pavilion, run out by very nearly 2 feet. Despairing dive, but he couldn't get there. And Sangakkara, well caught by Andrew Flintoff. He picked that up late in its flight, but took the catch very comfortably in the end. That was 55 for 2. When Jayasuriya was run out, it was 38 for 1. Jayawardene's on strike on 26. Very impressive player, Mahela Jayawardene. Don't get into the top 5 or 6 of the world rankings without being able to play. Terrific record. Played most of his matches at home. Look at that for an impressive record. It's a bit like comparing the Australians with the English players. The Sri Lankans have much better batting averages.
England will still be searching for swing. Feel sure that they would have talked in the dressing room about bowling the length. Ball as full as you can. Hoggard drops short again, outside off stump. But it's a very easy pace pitch. There would have been anxious moments the first thing this morning as to what this pitch would actually do. It's proved to be a very friendly pitch.
This will be tight. Another direct hit. Once again, Darryl Harper will go to Jeremy Lloyds, the third umpire, to find out what he thought of this. It's Michael Vaughan again. He's having a great start to this test match in the field. This is pretty tight, David.
It is very tight. It's a direct hit. It's Vaughan again. We talk about swing bowling. Sri Lanka might just run themselves out. This is awful running again after the lunch break. Vaughan comes in quickly. It's a clean pickup. He's got a good eye. Good release. How tight's this? Oh, this is tight. This is very tight. Let's look again. Oh, that's very, very close. Desperately stretching for the line. Oh, dear me. 6 inches. Is he in or is he out?
Well, he may be given the benefit of the doubt here. I think, in fact, he is out, but there is no evidence to really substantiate that. That frame, he is over the line, so he's in, but the wicket was broken before this. Now, Jeremy Lloyd has asked for that again, and that looks out, doesn't it? From that angle, the bat certainly isn't over the line. And here's the other side of the ground. And once again, we have that frame that just that jump, the wicket not fully broken there, but that's a long way afterwards when it is. Now, what's Jeremy Lloyd's decision going to be?
Well, I think this is out, but I'm not sure that the decision will say that. Desperate lunge for the line. Once again, it's an awful run. Excellent fielding from Michael Vaughan. Now, is it too close to call? If there's doubt, if you're guessing, you've got to give the benefit to the batsman. Now then, the umpire's decision. Here we go. Not out.
Well, it had to be not out. It's tough luck on England, because I think he, in fact, was short of his ground. But the evidence of the camera, just frame by frame, would not substantiate that decision. So a let-off for Sri Lanka. How rare would that have been to have 2 run-outs in the first 3 wickets to fall? Careless running, and Marvin Attapat is a very lucky man indeed. He continues on 46. Here's Hoggard again.
Well, it's a let-off for Marvin Attapat just after the lunch break.
Again, full of length. This one has beaten Trescothick at mid-on. It's Caddick who's going to have to chase it up to the boundary, but he's lost that race. Jayawardene registers his 6th boundary. Attapat has 6 as well. And the feature of most of these boundaries, David, have been straight down the ground.
I think they've got the confidence to play with the full face of the bat, and this is a cracking shot. One of the most difficult shots to play, the on drive. But the full face of the bat, body weight behind the shot. Court once again pitching very full.
Well, that's flown away through that slip cordon and beats third man into the pavilion wall. Mark Butcher couldn't stop it, so 4 more.
Well, that could have gone anywhere. It's a thick outside edge which flew through that vacant slip area. Butcher seems to have a problem down there at third man, but that's the shot. I'm not sure that he got really on top of that. Brings 4 again. Just suffering there, Mark Butcher.
Certainly is a sameness to the England bowling attack without Darren Gough in their number. Cork and Caddick of a similar pace. Hoggard not a lot different. Flintoff does bowl faster, capable of bowling very quick, Andrew Flintoff. But without Gough, there is a big hole in that England attack.
Alec Tudor left of the screen there, left out this morning by England. I thought Darren Gough, when he was a guest in our commentary box in the one-day game, Yorkshire versus Somerset down at Taunton, very interesting in saying that he thought the team should include Giles. Darren Gough, I thought, spoke terrifically well and with good sense in saying that if the weather would be hot, as it is, promises to get hotter during the week, that England should include the spin bowler to take a bit of pressure away from the quickies, particularly in the second innings. And when you get into situations like this on flat pitches, yes, the attack does look very samey with 4 quick bowlers.
Edged, and it's gone through, and Marvin Adapatu will pick up 50s. First appearance at Lord's, and that's a big thrill for him. It's been a bit sketchy at times, been some pleasing drives in the V down the ground. 6 boundaries have come in his 50 runs. But he's a mighty lucky man to be there, having got the benefit of the doubt in that run-out decision.
He's got a full face of the bat straight down the ground. Another super shot, effortless, again down the ground with a full face, and again terrific execution of these shots, and on the back foot just behind square on the offside. Good player.
It's a well taken run.
England have stayed with just 2 slips.
I guess the question is, to a defensive shot, whether the balls would carry to a 3rd and 4th slip. Sure, that airy-fairy drive from Jayawardene flew through the slip area. But it's a question whether the ball would carry to a 3rd or 4th slip from a defensive push. Well, we may find out, because Hussain has decided to make the change, and it's a brave change too. He's telling Hoggard to get that line absolutely right outside the off stump, because we've got no long leg, we've got that close slip and the 3rd man. So where does the ball go? Down to fine leg. That is disappointing for the captain. Nasser Hussain can't believe it. 132 for 2.
All those different fielding positions produced this delivery. Fine leg, moved across to 3rd man, the ball angled down the leg side. It's as easy as you like. What's going through his mind, Nasser Hussain, who just set that field. The ball flies down to fine leg. He's a batsman, he won't understand that ballers just err from time to time. He's seething, absolutely seething.
Just makes the captain look so stupid when you take a fielder away and the very next ball goes to that position. Big gap there between point and cover, and Jayawardene has found it again. He's into the 40s, and the partnership moves on to 81.
Well, this is a taste of things to come throughout this summer. If we get good weather and easy pace pitches, Sri Lanka and Indian batsmen will tuck in to full length bowling. It's another cracking shot through the offside.
20 boundaries already in the first 32 overs and 2 balls. That's too many from England's point of view.
No! It's certainly good cricket for the spectators. Just around about 12,000 tickets sold for this test match. The ground, plenty of room. Come along and watch the day's play.
Jayawardene on to 44. Adapatu 55. Most of the problems out there belong to Nasser Hussain.
That's nicely played. Banged in the last ball of the over, but not much pace in this wicket. Just worked down to fine leg for one. It's 140 for two. Well, there's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen to the game and how they're going to improve it with the technology. Well, this is proof that we've been saying for quite some time now. You need a higher quality camera that's more frames per second, super slow-mo, whatever. And the bodies, there's no point in going so far in this. If you're going to do it, let's finish the job and do it properly. To me, that was out. And I think if you'd have had that extra frame, he'd have been out by an inch. But now that camera there does the job, and it's better than what we had before. It's provided by the governing bodies. Well, I think they ought to spend a few more quid. It's 142 for two. Nothing particularly spectacular about that spell so far, the 8 overs. Andy Caddick averaging just over 80 miles an hour, which to me is below par for him. Served up half volley and dispatched. Very interesting stat on Andy Caddick. Now, you'd think as a bowler it would be easier to bowl in the first innings, get into the game, take your wickets, strike rate, but in the first innings of test matches he's taken 114 wickets, an average of almost 35, with a strike rate of just under 70. Second innings, 86 wickets at 21, strike rate of almost half what it is in the first innings. Now, I wonder if there's a message there. It's nicely played, got on top of it. Comfortable too. It's going along nicely. England need to do something. It's now 150 for two. Pretty consistent. First 50 coming in 75 balls, second is 78, and the one that's just come up is 79. Well, that's another half volley, and it's driven. It's not what England wanted at the start of this series. I'm sure that Nasser Hussain will be overly impressed with what's been served up at the moment. Just drifting into the legs a little bit there. Looked away.
That's good, Caddy. Well done, pal.
Sri Lankans would be looking to Jayawardene to play that long big innings. He's an arrogant little player who likes to attempt the impossible. That really has been his undoing at times, and prevented him from making those big scores, which he's well capable of. This is a great opportunity. The pitch playing well, and he's settled down well. And there you are. That's what he's capable of. He's a big-time merchant. You see 242, 167, 167 and 150. So Jayawardene can be a threat.
Interesting, all in Sri Lanka though. So something he'll want to do is get a big score out of Sri Lanka. Just a leg by.
Good, Caddy.
James Foster, who's been on tour with England. Broken arm he received. Max Tudor sat next to him. Well, if England, I feel he should have played in this game, but England, I think, had missed an opportunity of introducing a younger batsman at number 6, and to have introduced one of the younger bowlers. Well, regret it a little later on. Anyway, the partnership now, 99 from 154 balls.
So the captain's maneuvering his fielders around, shuffling his bowlers. Coming around the wicket, yes, Flintoff looking to try and entice Jayawardene into that pull, and this probably would be changing the angle so that he might get pulled into the shot. So the captain's trying every trick in the book.
That might be a bit sore. Always, it's how much padding you wear. When she does it, doesn't matter how much you wear, you always miss the padding and it hits the flesh.
Yes, and I think Jayawardene too, you see, he knows the trap set, but he's the type of player who just cannot stay away from a challenge. Of course, he's pulling that low down, but that certainly must have hurt.
He's got the inner protector of the thigh on his right leg, but it missed it. And it's hit somewhere round about, it looks like the hip bone. Should be quite sore. But, it's one of those things you just got to rub off. You know, give it a good rub or run it off. It's not much that magic hands of the physios who has been called. I'm not quite sure what he can do. And Captain Nasser Hussain, just a word with his bowler, Andrew Flintoff. See if there's any changes needed. Time for a change in the commentary box. Paul Allot's with David Gow.
Thanks, Ian. Very positive indeed. Plenty of time to play the shot. Everything under supreme control. And up comes both the 100 partnership and 50 for Mahela Jayawardene.
What a way for Jayawardene to go to his half-century. 9 fours in his 51. And this is emphatic as any of them. There's nothing for bowling short on this pitch. And Jayawardene has just swatted that away for 4. Looks as though he's hobbling a bit, but he's okay. Managed to raise the bat after all that. 51 not out from just 84 balls.
Well, it was something that I think someone must have mentioned in the break at lunchtime about Mahela Jayawardene, who the Sri Lankan batting coach, Barry Richards, says he is a compulsive hooker at the short ball. He's actually left alone the ones that have been uncontrollable. Those ones like the last one there, which was wide and a wee bit too high, he's tended to leave them alone pretty well, and the ones he's been able to get a bat on and keep down and control, he seems to have hit very well. See that well too. Well, he might have been hobbling after that previous stroke. He doesn't need to go anywhere after that one. That's 4 more.
He's played a couple of square cuts already today, where he's rolled his wrists over the top of the ball, kept it down. He's done exactly the same here. There's plenty of time to play the stroke in position early. Emphatic downward hit, backward of point, and timed again quite beautifully. This is Jayawardene's route to 50. It's one of those square cuts I was talking about, rolling the wrists over the top of the ball. Beautiful off drive. That was all timing and placement through mid-on. Flashing cover drive. He's really played some wonderful strokes to get through to 50.
We've just had drinks 10 minutes ago, and we did see during that over, that previous over, Jayawardene just struggling a wee bit, so I'd imagine there's been the odd painkiller that went down the neck before that added fluid. It's a hot day though, let's make no bones about that. Virtually everyone very grateful for that, probably apart from the England bowlers, but he is hobbling. But he will find the gaps when they're there, and when the opportunity's there, superb timing. Boundary number 8 for Marvan Atapattu.
Well, this is beautifully played again. It's just flicked off his legs, round the wicket from Flintoff, pitching outside leg stump. Batsman can't be LBW. It's fairly full. Bottom hand coming in to flick the ball away behind square. It's the wrong line from round the wicket. Got to get the ball pitching off stump just outside.
Well, still the runs flowing nicely. 5 from the overs, 170 for 2.
Yeah, similarities there. Atapatu has been perhaps a little bit more watchful than Jayawardene. He's been there since the start of play, and he's certainly not going to throw anything away now. I think Jayawardene, known as a more wristy player, and perhaps a risky player as well, plays more shots. He's got a runner now. Didn't think it'd be long before somebody came out to help him get between the wickets. It's Kumar Sangakkara who's running for Jayawardene.
And he's off. Gentle canter to get loose. Always seems to just cause supreme confusion, doesn't it, when a runner comes out? Fielders start looking behind themselves for where is that man, where's he gone? Always looks strange, even if you've been around the game of cricket for 50 years, to see someone hitting the ball, standing still, letting someone else do the running for him.
Yeah, just watch for the telltale signs from the batsman. No, he's saying exactly where he is. Sometimes you see the batsman play the stroke and set off on a run when he knows he's got a runner, and then does a couple of paces and thinks, hang on, got to get back in my crease. Jayawardene is at square leg next to the umpire. He doesn't look a happy man.
Fruitless days so far then for Andy Caddick. Started this morning bowling from his preferred nursery end. We've not seen much of that from Andrew Caddick.
No, and I'm just beginning to wonder why that went through a little bit. Maybe there is something just a fraction too paced about this pitch, but the Sri Lankans in general don't play the short ball particularly well, especially when it gets up this high. And I reckon we've only seen 2 or 3 balls like that through the day in a session and a half, and it's always worthwhile just trying the odd one or two, especially when they're bowled at that pace, as long as your field's set properly.
Tonight on Fox Sports News, Robbie Kearns out of the New South Wales State of Origin lineup, while Alan Lanka still yet to train with Queensland. The Pies prepare for their first top-of-the-table clash in over a decade. Leighton Hewitt through to the quarterfinals in Hamburg, but again not happy with the umpire, and Kostya Zoo's all-or-nothing world title defence. Full details of those stories and more on Fox Sports News at 7 o'clock Eastern.
One don't like. You disturb everyone with your lovely attitude.
And frankly, your initiatives are becoming a problem. Did I ask?
Telstra Call Waiting lets important calls through even when your phone's busy.
Excuse me, Mr. Boswell, I've got another call.
Just press Recall 2 to switch between callers.
Hello?
Jude, it's Alan. Congratulations, you've got the job.
Mr. Boswell, you know that filing you wanted me to do on my day off? I just finished.
Call waiting. Just press recall 2. It's free.
Hi, I'm Frank Farina, Socceroo coach, and I'm really looking forward to joining Manchester United superstar Dwight Yorke and Aussie rep players this weekend at the Telstra International Soccer Expo.
Buy official World Cup merchandise, jerseys, boots, balls, books and videos. Meet National Soccer League stars Frank Farina, Australian internationals, Joey's, Matildas and Dwight Yorke. Cheer on the Telstra All Schools Cup, Kids First Celebrity Match and join in on coaching clinics. The Telstra International Soccer Expo, State Sports Centre, Homebush Bay this weekend. Check out the website for all the info.
See you there.
The first test continues.
Yeah, get your arms up, umpire. That's a biggie.
Whether it's big or small, you won't miss a ball. England and Sri Lanka live from Lord's. Tonight at 8 on 2.
This weekend, we bring you unrivaled coverage from round 10 of the NRL. First up, the Storm are planning to do some eel bashing at Olympic Park. But to bash it, you've got to catch it.
Winners dummies, and we'll look for number 2, but 30 will get it for him.
5:30, the Cowboys have big cats in their sights when the Panthers drop into Dairy Farmers Stadium. There's more big cats on the prowl at 7:30 when the Tigers face the fire-breathing Dragons.
What a try by Nathan Blacklock.
Plus, we've got analysis of the Warriors Night Splash. 7 hours of spectacular rugby league. It's NRL Super Saturday, live from 2:30.
Got a problem with the ball. The second time today. This ball has not swung much, and thought it had gone out of shape after about 24 overs. So the umpires will try and get the ball through the gauge, and there's no problem there. It goes through one and doesn't go through the other. And get on with it. It's perfectly all right.
You know, it's great they've got that little tool, isn't it? That little gauge to help them, because we're always going to have captains, bowlers, people trying to say, look at this ball, and you look at it with the naked eye and you say, well, maybe there's a case to answer. He put it through the gauge, job done. Technology wins again.
I know umpires do carry gauges with them, but I can't remember them putting the ball through the gauge quite as regularly as they've done today. They've looked at it and said, yeah, maybe it is out of shape, and said, OK, we'll change it. I can't remember them putting it through the gauge all the time. I think it's probably a pretty good move, that. As you say, there can be no argument. If it goes through the gauge and in through the one half and not through the other, then fine, get on with it.
Yeah, obviously things like stitching coming undone and the ball basically falling apart, that's another matter. You don't need a gauge to decide on that. 175 for 2. That's close. It's not out. Daryl Harper taking his time to consider. He's still got the chance to give it out, but his mind is made up.
Close, this. And it becomes exasperating for the bowlers on a good pitch like this when you actually get it through the batsman's defences and you think it's close and it gets the decision gets turned down. Well, this looks close to me. Maybe a bit high. It's hit on the back leg.
Well, it's that back leg which has been causing Jayawardene his problems the last 10-15 minutes or so.
There's not been excessive bounce from this sort of length from any of the bowlers. It's nipped back up the hill. You can see the movement. And it hits above the knee roll, but that leg is bent. Don't think there's much problem with the ball being straight enough, but would it have gone over the top?
Moving into the commentary box now, it's Ian Botham with Bob Willis.
Thanks, David. Yes, they are enjoying this early summer weather. And Jayawardene is enjoying that stroke. Paddock can't believe it. That's flown away up to the grandstand boundary.
Well, any width on this wicket, and the batsmen are saying, yes, please, serve it up. Struggling a little bit with that hip from that blow from Andrew Flintoff, but it's out there. And it's dispatched. Sometimes batsmen, when they get the limp on the runner, they become more dangerous. Gordon Greenwich springs to mind.
Well, he's fast catching up Marvin Atapatu. 66 Jayawardene, 73 Atapatu. But he's in the wars as well. He's going to have a few medals after this innings. This young man's a very, very good batsman.
Just in the midriff. It's the sting more than anything else for those. They just for just a couple of seconds or so.
Paddock running in with a bit more purpose, but still waiting for his first wicket. No wicket for 50. He's in his 14th over. We've got the ball changed earlier on today. He's showing this one to Venkat. Well, Jayawardene is prepared to take on the short ball. Paddock has to do the fielding. And he's not very comfortable at all out there. Mahela Jayawardene in a lot of pain.
They seem to aggravate this shot. He swiveled round on that hip there, and that's the problem. He does look in some discomfort.
Outside the line, Ian, or just too far forward?
Well, I think it's going to bounce over, but I think the umpire feels he might have hit it. Let's just have a look. It's the one that goes the other way. Well, pretty good shout, I'd say. He's not gone that far forward. Certainly not going to bounce over the top.
Didn't hit him outside the line. Nice wristy shot. He's coming back for the second. 50 overs bowled, 190 for 2, Sri Lanka. No ball, signalled once again. Hogarth's overstepped 5 times today already. Shake of the head. Glorious shot, one of the best of the day. Twelve boundaries now for Jayawardene. He moves on to 74, 197 for 2.
At the moment, they're just cruising along, scoring at just under 4 runs and over. Try and stem that flow. The batsman's something to think about. Where's my next run coming from?
It's gone out of fashion, really, Ian, hasn't it? Bowling maidens. I mean, there used to be a bowler in every side who would pride himself on keeping things quiet. We had the privilege of playing with, you know, Derek Underwood, Mike Hendrick, people who really treasured the maiden over. I think Angus Fraser was about the most recent player who's bowled in that manner.
Well, Mike Hendrick, if a run was scored off him, he almost, well, he chewed the ball or he snapped the stumps. He hated giving runs away. Yeah, well, there's only been 5 all day today. 51.5 overs bowled, just 5 maidens.
Turned away fine. Comfortably get back for 2 to bring up the 200 for Sri Lanka, only in the 52nd over. Just under 4 runs and over. Partnership of 145 between Marvin Atapatu and Mahela Jayawardene.
Time. Very little breeze at all today. Black's pretty still.
It's gone for it again. Trescothick can't get there. 150 partnership comes up. Jayawardene will accept the pain. He'll put up with that. He now goes past Atapatu. He moves on to 81.
It's a good shot. It's not a bad delivery. He's got it up high, so the batsman's had to work very hard to keep the ball down. He's got it out the middle of the bat as well. Races away. Nothing the man can do out there sweeping. Only about 15 yards to his right. It's never a contest.
Well stopped. That's away fine. That'll be 4 more. England have strayed onto leg stump far too often.
It's a free hit, isn't it? Well, it's not even a hit. It's a free tickle. So you've got the man who's very much more nearer backward square, or just behind deep backward square, and fine legs. So all you need to do is just, there you go, roll the wrists. These boys are good at that as well.
That's away for 4 more. That'll run down to the mound stand. Brings up the 100 runs in the session. 110 was scored before lunch. It's going to be a similar amount between lunch and tea.
Beautiful shot. Very, very good timing. Full control of the shot.
Will be 4 more, thank you very much. The butcher experiment may not last the tea interval.
Well, last till the tea interval, but that'll be it. 3 overs in this boundary. Sorry, over. Yeah, really breaking sweat. Swirled off the over, still 1 ball to go.
29 boundaries scored now in these 54 overs. And that will be tea. As a groan of disappointment from that final delivery, which Atapatu can have nothing to do with. Marvin Atapatu goes to tea 90 not out. Mahela Jayawardene 81. Sri Lanka a massive 217 for 2 at tea. Plenty of batting still to come, but England have got to dislodge Atapatu and Jayawardene first. Top-class batting, chanceless session. Only that tight run-out decision, which went in favour of Atapatu, gave England any hope during the afternoon session.
Well, the bowlers have been tried, I have to say. They've, the exception of perhaps Flintoff, who I thought bowled a good line, 12 overs, number 32. The rest have been expensive and somewhat lacklustre, I felt, this morning. Now they've got a lot of work to try and pull it back. 5 bowlers used, and just 1 wicket taken in the wicket column and 1 run out.
3 batsmen making their way to the middle. Jayawardene has been hobbling for the best part of an hour. His runner was Sangakkara before tea. I don't see any reason for the Sri Lankans to have changed that. And obviously Marvin Atapatu is the third of the trio. It's off the thigh pad, and Alex Stewart knows it. This England attack, 4 bowlers bowling similar pace, is fine on a pitch that gives you plenty of help. No question about that. But when you find a surface like this that's almost dead, you've got nowhere to go, no variation, nothing. It's pulled away for 4 between the deep fine leg and deep backward square. Jayawardene has 14th 4, and it takes him to 86.
Another controlled shot. He's in some pain and some discomfort, but he latches onto this quickly. Ball banged in short. Right in the middle of fine leg and deep backward square. It's prompted a change for England. It may be that they've done away with that ploy. Deep backward square has come up in front of square leg.
Just a single off last ball of the over, 6 from it. 224 for 2. And that's flicked through mid-wicket, racing down the hill. Well, that has to go down as a chance to Alex Stewart's left hand going down the leg side. It was at a reasonable height. He has to go a long way. Just clips the end of the glove.
Court knew immediately. It's a good thick inside edge on the ball, fine down the leg side. Stewart looking to make ground to his left.
Well, those are the sort of half chances that need to go your way. Dominic Cork knew there was bat on it and thought, just for a split second, that he was going to get a wicket. You can't bowl there. That's just a good length ball on middle and off, and it's worked away up the hill for 4. Your margin for error when you're bowling to this sort of field is minimal.
Thinks it's his birthday, Marvin Atapatu. He'll just work the ball away on length. Such a good player. High levels of concentration and class. Terrific technique. He's seen the field, got that mental picture. One fielder on the leg side. He's moved on to 98.
And there's still only one man on the leg side. Adjusted and played that well down to third man. It'll only be a single. So Atapatu goes to 99. And Jayawardene on 88. It's just nudged away through the leg side. 2 or 3 here. They'd be sensible to stay at 2, and they have.
Well, there's that technique in attack where Jayawardene lets the ball come right into him, and he knows the mental picture of where the leg side is. He lets the ball come, lets it come, and then turns his wrist, just a flick of the wrist through the leg side. Just note how he lets the ball come right into him and then just flicks it away. Another field change. Second slip comes out into a short mid-wicket area.
Yeah, I don't mind that. If Cork's going to bowl perhaps as straight as he can, or the ball that doesn't swing like he wants it to. Oh, that's beautifully played. Oh, that's a wonderful stroke. It's a poor ball from Cork, but it's an absolutely stunning stroke from Jayawardene, and it takes him to 95.
Well, it's neck and nip and tuck between Atapatu and Jayawardene. Who's going to get the 100 first? Roll of the wrist again. The ball just angled ever so slightly in towards the leg side. Don't forget, the leg side has just been reinforced, but he knows where the fielders are. He picks his spot there. Good player.
No!
It's a good shot for no run. Oh, there it is. That's going to run away for 4. There's nobody on the leg side in front of square. And Marvin Atapatu goes through to his 100. It's his 10th for Sri Lanka, his 2nd against England. And it's been a wonderful innings here today in the sunshine at Lord's.
It's an exhibition. He's played wonderfully well. He's a terrific player, Atapatu, and he's picked his spot again. The field will change, I think, now. Tried to bowl to that 8-1 field, England. It hasn't worked. But hasn't he played well? 103, 13 fours. And he likes double hundreds. He's just had a net.
There he is. Not taken a wicket yet in Test cricket. He only bowled 34 overs. Now would be a good time to start.
No!
It's maybe a time when the batsman could relax and think, well, it's just Michael Vaughan bowling.
To being LBW. Venkat not interested, very quick to say no. I'd love to see that again.
Just that lack of concentration, that's all it is, that he misses this delivery. Oh no. Venkat has intimated that that's going down the leg side. He's bowling down the slope, Michael Vaughan. The ball pitches. It does spin ever so slightly, but it's hitting bang in front and very low.
Well, an eventful first over from Michael Vaughan. Just a single, could easily have had a wicket. Have a look at some of the strokes that took Marvin Atapatu through to his 100. It's all been beautifully controlled and timed. It's been graceful. Not been an awful lot of aggression. But the ball has found the boundary 13 times. Andrew Flintoff is into the attack and clubbed away through the offside for 4 more. That's Mahela Jayawardene's 100. It was a gift of a ball, and he didn't look the gift horse in the mouth. What a good innings that was. His 9th 100 and his first outside Sri Lanka.
Well, they're coming thick and fast now. The crowd stands in appreciation, and his team. Unfinished business here. 250 up as well.
Lanka go past 250 as well with that 4 that brought the century up for Jayawardene. What a great partnership this is between these two. They've put on 196. We've got Ranjit Fernando and David Gow for you now.
Nice ball. Well, it's been great to watch Ranjit, hasn't it? And they've played supremely well. Matched each other shot for shot. Jayawardene just the more aggressive of the two. But here they are, and they're just 4 runs short of a 200-run partnership.
Sri Lankans have been just concentrating on putting back to ball, and on this pitch, which really has not done too many favors to the bowlers. They've been able to hit the middle most times, and it's been absolutely brilliant batting out there.
Well, just the summary of the way he's got to 100 shows you shots all around the wicket. Well, it's another telling statistic, isn't it? 4 runs and over. That's the run rate today. Michael Vaughan gets it past the outside edge now. Long on his back. That's Andy Caddick up there.
Got it.
Well, he's gone for that in a big way. 4 runs. And up comes the 200 partnership now. It's on to 203. So just a little reconnaissance against the off-spinner. And he's found his mark pretty quickly there. 258 for 2.
It would seem that the Sri Lankans really are looking to get on with it, as English bowlers at the end of the session really not showing too much moral boost.
That's the split of the partnership. Atapatu has 86 of it. Jayawardene 107.
And enjoy your Friday night. We'll make sure you catch the game. Every week we replay the NRL Friday night match in full. Tonight, Newcastle clash with the Warriors, 11 o'clock on 1.
Hello, my name's Bev, and I'd like to say thank you. Thank you, darling.
I'd like to thank you. And you too.
And we'd like to say thank you.
No, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Marlene, and I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Buy a Big Mac on McHappy Day and we'll donate $1 to Ronald McDonald House Charities. You'll help us raise $1.5 million during McHappy time and make a lot of people very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ever wondered what it'd be like to tour with the Wallabies?
Brilliant!
Well, Vodafone is giving you the chance to find out. Just vote in the People's Choice Award for your Australian Vodafone Super 12 Player of the Year. Simply SMS your favourite player to 0414 111 222 or visit foxsports.com.au before the 27th of May. You and a mate could win 4 days travelling with the Vodafone Wallabies as they prepare to take on the All Blacks in the Bledisloe Cup in New Zealand. Vote now.
You disturb everyone with your lovely attitude.
And frankly, your initiatives are becoming a problem. Did I ask?
Telstra Call Waiting lets important calls through even when your phone's busy.
Excuse me, Mr. Boswell, I've got another call.
Just press Recall 2 to switch between callers.
Hello?
Jude, it's Alan. Congratulations, you've got the job.
Mr. Boswell, you know that filing you wanted me to do on my day off? I just finished.
Call Waiting. Just press Recall 2. It's free.
The pressure is mounting at Fort Worth. But who will keep their cool in the Texas heat?
Yeah, take that.
Live. Round 2 of the MasterCard Colonial. Tomorrow morning from 6 on 1.
Bisfield.
England needs to keep their shoulders up and sort of heads high, as this is no time that they should certainly falter on the field, as the Sri Lankans would be looking to put their foot on the accelerator.
I'll tell you what, it seems an awful long time ago that Paul Allott was interviewing both captains at the toss, and there was that suspicion that Nasser Hussain and his bowlers might find something in this pitch they could work with. And apart from really just a few deliveries early in the day that might have hit the seam when the ball was brand new and a little bit of swing, there's been virtually nothing. It just seems to have got nicely easier almost by the minute. And anything offline, it's been punished. Flintoff here has tried everything he knows, which includes trying to bang the ball in short. He's tried to test out Jayawardene especially, see if he might play one hook shot up in the air. But there's been nothing. There's been the odd close call with the runouts. There's that one little inside edge that just eluded Alex Stewart's gloves. Those have been the only chances, really, half chances for England.
The Sri Lankans had no hesitation in deciding to bat, and I think they certainly must be pleased with the decision they made, because there was a little bit of movement. As you see, the dressing room very, very relaxed. Captain Sanath Jayasuriya, manager Shafter, and Chaminda Vas, who no doubt would be expected to do a great deal for the Sri Lankans when it comes to their turn to bowl. But by and large, a very relaxed dressing room.
Seems like a cup of tea too. Got him. That's the end of it. Trescothick, who let the ball through just early in the over, has the simplest of chances to take. Makes absolutely no mistake with it. And so it's the end of a very entertaining innings from Mahela Jayawardene. He's livid. He wanted to carry on for a lot longer, but he'll be warmly applauded all the way back to this pavilion at Lord's.
Huge break for England here. Mahela Jayawardene playing a little too early. Finds Trescothick at short mid-wicket, and a fine innings coming to an end. Standing applause from this big audience out there, and what a fine innings by this young man, Mahela Jayawardene.
Well, Jayawardene gone finally then for 170, faced 168 balls. It's 261 for 3. The new man, Aravinda De Silva, well known all around the world. 89 test matches he's played before this one. This his 90th. And he has a very fine record, so a very handy man to be coming into the crisis at 261 for 3.
Certainly it's going to be a big game for Arvind De Silva. He's got back into the Sri Lankan team after almost 2 years in exile, if one might say. And he certainly would be looking to prove himself. Very accomplished. So De Silva comes in at a stage where Sri Lanka have set themselves with a firm foundation.
Aravinda De Silva off the mark. 262 for 3. So success for England, success for Flintoff. Finally an error of timing from Mahela Jayawardene. He's flicked it away so well all the way through the day, through that leg side. Just proves that when you're playing these sorts of shots, everything has to be absolutely right. His balance normally impeccable, his timing normally impeccable. Might just have come off the pitch a little bit more slowly than he thought, but that's the end result. The trouble is, actually, from the English point of view, tonight and tomorrow morning, and let's assume that Sri Lanka finished the day nicely in command, nicely on top, and there's just evidence of the big first innings totals in the last 10 matches. Then there are going to be people saying, well, come on, how can England have such a bad day against a side that's hardly made a run, it seems, in the last month against relatively ordinary county sides, with no disrespect to them. Space here again. Comfortable too.
So Sri Lanka's sort of run up to this tour wasn't the best, because they really had to go to Sharjah just before they came to England, and that was a totally different situation as far as conditions are concerned. And I think the Sri Lankans have worked to a plan here. There you are, that's the risky manner in which the Sri Lankans have been playing all the bowling all day long, and this has been the hallmark of their play. Just coming back to the early games, I think they worked out on trying to acclimatize as much as possible rather than look in terms of winning any games as such. And I think along the way they probably may have faltered. But I think they were quite pleased with the way the batsmen had adjusted themselves, and when the sun came up, I think it was a huge bonus.
Yes, that couldn't have worked out better for them. I think some of the pitches they played, or some of the conditions they've played under, have been very bowler-friendly. But you always look at quality sides thinking, well, now, as we made the point at the start of the day, for instance, these top 6 batsmen all have 200s to their name in Test match cricket. And you think, well, if you get half a chance, people like that, with the ability they've got, and the temperament and the desire to succeed, well, someone's going to get runs. And it is a great test of an international cricketer, or any cricketer, how they respond when they get into a Test match. Pressure is on there to produce. And that's what they've done here today. So Carrick finishes off, I'd say a gentlish over there. There's no real venom in what he's doing. 3 runs coming from it. 68 overs bowled now in the day. 266 for 3 the score. Umpire's just looking towards the pavilion in case there are some drinks available. I think they're as thirsty as the rest of them.
Warm work for Atapatu and De Silva, but even hotter work for the England bowlers and fielders. Took their time over the drinks interval. Still 21 overs to be bowled today. 69 bowled. The run rate is 3.86, which is fast by any standards. Caddick starting his 17th over. Beautifully played. Marvin Adapatu's not interested in running. He knows this outfield. Aravinda de Silva just creams that away through extra cover. Caddick over pitching again.
Well, it's right up there in the slot, isn't it? Half volley length. Just what a batsman likes, just to get the confidence going.
Always get their elbows high when they play, though. That'll be a bonus for the Sri Lankans.
Right.
Overthrow. .277 for 3. Just the 3 wickets have gone down. The first one was Sanat Jayawardene committing suicide, taking on Michael Vaughan's arm. Despairing dive, about 18 inches short. 38 for 1. Kumar Sangakkara caught by Andrew Flintoff at second slip. He went for 10. That was 55 for 2. And eventually Mahela Jayawardene going for 107. He put on 206 with Marvin Adapatu. 261 for 3. 277 for 3 now. A rest for Andrew Flintoff. Michael Vaughan coming on this time at the nursery end to bowl some off spin. 8 overs to the second new ball. Well, there aren't any slips now. Caught disappointed. Single down to Michael Vaughan. Glorious shot again. And the feature of this batting throughout the day has been a beautiful maker's name presented to the bowler. 14th four for Adapatu.
It's placement as much as anything. Just waiting for it to come on, knows where the gaps are. Picks his spot. As you say, Bob, it's one of the highlights of the day, watching their timing and placement of the ball, these Sri Lankan batsmen.
Butcher. 284 for 3. This partnership moves on to 23. The major one of the innings was between the two Centurions, Adapatu and Jayawardene. 206 they put on. Talented batting to come. Tilakartne and Arnold. Taminda Vas has had his moments with the bat too.
Helped over the top. That's a clever shot from Aravinda de Silva. Michael Vaughan will not catch that.
Left open down there at third man. Very lush outfield, but just enough travel on the ball to reach the boundary. It's a good shot, isn't it? Just helps the ball. Just that easy pace pitch, and the ball short of a length will just sit up nice, invitingly.
Well, it goes back to what might happen with the new ball, which is it might just go through a little bit more quickly, and it might just do something off the seam when it is brand new. And if you can pick up, as you know, as fielding captain, if you can pick up a couple of wickets before the end of the day, at least it makes it a somewhat better day than it might have been.
It can transform the day if you get lucky and pick a couple of wickets up. It's been a toil for England up to now.
Well, he's going to ask. I don't think he's going to get the decision in his favour, because it's, to my mind, just outside off stump that the ball has struck him. We'll have a look, of course.
It lets you know immediately, Venkat, as to where it is. The ball could be high. It's a decent shout. It could be high. It could be going over the top of the stumps. Looks to me as if they're just setting the stall out for tomorrow, for a long day's batting. Keep the wickets intact. They've got the runs for the day. 295 on the board. That's a lot of runs.
Yeah, there's the evidence, actually. Atapatu, I think earlier in the day, would have put that away. But his mind wasn't on it quite in the same way at this late stage. If Jayawardene had still been here, I think the run rate would have been pretty much maintained. Just you've got Atapatu, who's content to pick up these singles and play the ball around. You've got Aravinda de Silva, who will have said to himself, I'm sure, look, it's a great opportunity with a pitch like this to set his stall out over 2 days and make some big runs. 296 for 3.
3 singles off that Michael Vaughan over, non-threatening. It's just a look as to see whether England will take the new ball. It looks as if it's on its way now. There it is, the signal from umpire Venkat that England will take this new ball. And 7 overs are left in the day's play. So 4 from the pavilion end and 3 from the nursery.
4 runs offered up there by Dominic Cork and accepted very gratefully. That's the 300 up for Sri Lanka.
Yes, another milestone there. 300 for 3. Another serene shot from Marvin Atapatu through extra cover. Is that ball of full length, roundabout off stump and medium fast, but he's quickly into the shot. All his body weight going into this shot and a full flow of the bat, picks his spot through extra cover. It's such a good feeling to ease the ball through there.
Well, almost repeating it. Fine delivery from Matthew Hoggard. Good shape, good movement, and just enough of a temptation for Aravinda de Silva to prod forward and miss it.
Absolutely in the slot, the movement's there, a little bit of shape in the air, the ball pitches and just carries on towards slip. It's an anxious time for de Silva. He does play at the ball.
You'd have to say that apart from that first innings in Christchurch, Matthew Hoggard has had to bowl on some of the flattest pitches around the world.
And in fairness to him, he's done well, Bob. He's kept going. I like the attitude of this guy. I think he's got a big future. He does swing it. I think he had the wrong end this morning. Had a bowled in the nursery end, which he's now bowling at, and I think he's looked better at this end.
Oh, look at the field now. 3 slips and a gully, and this short mid-wicket position. Paddock will have to chase that. I'll settle for 2. Seen the ball go past the outside edge very much at all today. The rare treat for Matthew Hoggard.
Well, he's done a couple of times. He's causing Aravinda de Silva a few problems around that off stump. Good line again. Look at that good seam position. That's close.
Flintoff to Atapatu. Well, he got a long way over in front of his stumps there, but timed it to perfection once again, straight off the middle of the bat. Hoggard down at long leg.
Matthew Hoggard, an average speed of 81, fastest again of over 84 miles an hour. Bowls a few slower balls, but average is about right for Matthew Hoggard. That's around the pace he bowls, and bowls consistently.
A heroic effort by Marvin Atapatu. He's been out there all day, opened the batting. 6¼ hours he's been out there already. He's done this before against England and other countries. He missed out early on in his Test career. He's filled his boots at every opportunity since. Only been 11 maidens bowled today, which is a very low proportion. There is another maiden, 1 over to go, 310 for 3.
They've done well in the sense of the run rate. They've dragged that back in this session, but that's partly because Sri Lanka, I think, of the last half hour or so have been protecting their situation. Still very much Sri Lanka's session.
Andrew Flintoff just waits for the crowd to settle behind him. Pace there from Andrew Flintoff. Flintoff bowled genuinely fast in India. He hasn't quite achieved that pace since. But the ball has already gone past the bat with this second new ball more than it did the whole of the time with the first one.
Well, that seemed.
Gather pace going down towards the mound stand. Well, it's a great effort by Matthew Hoggard. He's had a long, hard day, but he can't stop that one. That's the 50 partnership up, making it the second best of the innings so far. 53 they've put on together. It's taken a long while, 149 balls.
It's a bit of timing, isn't it? Seen so much of that today. The new ball just gathers pace down the slope.
Evenly spread. Aravinda hasn't been in any hurry. He's got a point to prove to the Sri Lankan selectors. They wanted him for this tour with his vast experience in English conditions, both for Sri Lanka and Kent. Just one ball left in the day's play. It's Andrew Flintoff's 20th over. Matthew Hoggard's got through 23. Dominic Cork 19. Just those 17 for Andrew Caddick. 8 for Michael Vaughan and 3 for Mark Butcher. England have managed to get their over 8 up above 40. Down the leg side, that'll conclude the first day's play here at Lord's. And at the end of the day, Sri Lanka, who won the toss here, 314 for 3. In a great position. And Marvin Adapatu, the real hero for Sri Lanka, 133 not out. He's been out there all day, 381 minutes and 264 deliveries. Aravinda De Silva looks hungry. They'll have a difficult period first thing tomorrow morning against this second new ball. But this looks a beautiful batting surface. The remaining members stand for Marvin Adapatu. His colleagues in the dressing room balcony are all on their feet as well. First blood to Sri Lanka. They've got themselves into almost impregnable position here. 314 for 3. Run rate of 3.5 runs and over. Was over 4 at one stage. England kept going well, but there hasn't been anything in this pitch for them.
Well, Andy Caddick 17 overs, none for 62, but for me, disappointing today, particularly in that first spell. Matthew Hoggard stuck to his task, kept trying, as you'd expect from him. Dominic Cork, again, tried everything he knew, all his experience. Andrew Flintoff, again, bowled, I thought, as well, if not possibly the best of the England seamers. And then just 3 overs and 8 overs from Butcher and Vaughan.
.36 overs bowled after tea, 97 runs added, the run rate down to 2.69. England's over 8 much better in that last session, over 15 overs an hour. 90 overs bowled in the day then, on a glorious early summer day in northwest London. Sri Lanka 314 for 3, and we'll see you all back at Lord's tomorrow.
This has been